make America great again, and that's what we're doing. Believe me, we're doing it, and we're doing it at a much faster pace than anyone thought. On behalf of the entire senior staff around you, Mr. President, we thank you for the opportunity and the blessing that you've given us to serve your agenda and the American people.
I want to thank you for getting this country moving again and also working again.
I'm thrilled to have the chance to help you live up to your campaign promises.
Thank you, Richard.
It's an honor to be able to serve you in that regard. You set the exact right message, and it's being responded. The response is fabulous around the country.
Thank you for your support and commitment to honoring our responsibility to America's veterans. I know that this is personally very important to you.
And it's an honor to be your steward of our public lands and the generator of energy dominance.
I want to thank everybody for coming. I just thought we'd go around the room. Lucy, how'd we do on the Sunday show yesterday?
Your tone was perfect. You were right on message.
Good morning. We have much great news to share with the American people today as we continue to deliver on our promises. Due to a record-long delay in confirmation and the confirmation process by the Senate Democrats, which I call the obstructionists, maybe they'll change, but I doubt it for a while, but they are truly obstructionists. This is our first cabinet meeting with the entire cabinet present. The confirmation process has been record-setting long, and I mean record-setting long, with some of the finest people in our country being delayed and delayed and delayed. But much of that is over, and now we're going through, as you know, the regular process with people at other levels of government, and that's a very long process also, including Ethics Committee, which has become very difficult to deal with. All of that being said, we now have our cabinet finally approved, and I want to welcome Secretary of Agriculture, Sonny Perdue. Thanks, Sonny. Secretary of Labor, Alex Acosta. Director of National Intelligence, Daniel Coates. And U.S. Trade Representative, Robert Lighthizer. There's an incredible, talented group of people in this room. Generals, governors, congressmen, entrepreneurs, business leaders, and many, many others. I choose each person at this table, and I chose them not only because of their remarkable experience and success, but because they've all united by one shared goal. What they want to do is one very simple but very beautiful goal: serving and defending our beloved nation. Together we're working every day, and we've been working very hard together for our country to protect their safety, bringing back jobs into our country, and putting always America first. And when I ran, it was make America great again, and that's what we're doing. Believe me, we're doing it, and we're doing it at a much faster pace than anyone thought. I will say that never has there been a president, with few exceptions. In the case of FDR, he had a major depression to handle, who's passed more legislation, who's done more things than what we've done. Between the executive orders and the job-killing regulations that have been terminated, many bills, I guess over 34 bills in Congress signed. The Supreme Court Justice is going to be a great one. Going to be a great Supreme Court Justice, and many other things. We've achieved tremendous success, and I think we've been about as active as you can possibly be, and at a just about record-setting pace. And we're achieving these goals by eliminating these job-killing regulations, unlocking American energy, rebuilding our military, pursuing fair and reciprocal trade deals, achieving massive reductions in illegal immigration, transforming the Department of Veterans Affairs, and building a new partnership among nations to defeat terrorism, which we have to do. In just a very short time, we're seeing amazing results. And in fact, there are a couple of major mines that are opening and the miners are going back to work. Actually, they're pretty big so fast. More small businesses are planning to hire than at any point in over a decade. And last month, unemployment fell to its lowest point in 16 years. I recently returned from a trip overseas that included deals for more than $350 billion worth of military and economic investment in the United States. These deals will bring many thousands of jobs to our country, and in fact will bring millions of jobs ultimately, and help Saudi Arabia take a greater role in providing stability and security in that region. One of the big things that we did, and you're seeing it now with Qatar and all of the things that are actually going on in a very positive fashion, we are stopping the funding of terrorism. We are going to stop the funding of terrorism. And it's not an easy fight, but that's a fight we're going to win. You have to starve the beast, and we're going to starve the beast, believe me. Secretary Price has been working very hard to repeal and replace Obamacare. The House passed a bill. The Senate has it right now. Mitch McConnell is working very, very hard, as are the Republican senators. We will have zero backing from the Democrats, even though they should get in and do something, but we expect to get zero. If we had the greatest bill in the history of the world on health care, we wouldn't get one vote from the Democrats because they're obstructionists. That's what they want to do. That's the game. They think that's their best political game. They're looking to 18. So far, we've had 2 races, and we've won both of those races. They spent millions and millions of dollars, congressional races. We have another one coming up, and we've been doing very well. But they're obstructionists, and that's sad. But we are coming up with something that I believe will be very good, with zero support from the obstructionist Democrats. Sad. Secretary Mnuchin is helping us put together one of the biggest tax cuts in American history. It may be the biggest single tax cut in American history, and that also includes a great deal of tax reform, simplification, and relief. Director Mulvaney has led our efforts to introduce a new budget that cuts wasteful Washington spending and protects the taxpayer, and that will come out, and believe me, we'll take care of the people that have. So that's the first step, but we will be taking care of the people that have to be taken care of. On a human basis, that's very, very important. Today, we're going to hear from Secretary Tillerson and Secretary Mattis on the ways that we're combating ISIS and defeating terrorism. We've had tremendous success against ISIS in our fight in the Middle East, where we're doing very, very well. We're going to be having a news conference in 2 weeks on that fight, and you'll see numbers that you would not have believed. And frankly, if you look back to even 6 months ago, you wouldn't have believed it was possible. Secretary Shulkin will give us an update on his tremendous work to make sure that our veterans are finally given the care that they deserve, one of the most important things to me on the campaign trail. We've also been strongly pushing for the passage of the VA Accountability Act to ensure employees of the VA can be held accountable if they fail our great veterans. It's passed the Senate, and the House is voting tomorrow. So tomorrow we have a big vote coming up, David, and I think we're going to be in good shape. But that's something that is going to be great for our veterans. We're also going to hear from Secretary Acosta about a major announcement that I'll be making, our people back to work. Well, we have the lowest number in terms of unemployment in many, many years. At the same time, I've always argued with that number because it doesn't take into account millions and millions of people that have given up looking for jobs. And